Hi kids, how's everybody doing? It is, oh my gosh, what day is it? I think it's Wednesday, the day after New Year's Day, and Jessica has been a busy bee. So I've had a bunch of binders that I've been working on for quite a while, honestly. I started working on these months ago. I showed some of the beginning of them on a live stream, like I said, a couple months ago. For some reason, I just had this like block about working on them. I don't know why. I think I think it's because they're so large. But I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I started just punching holes in pages that I wanted to use in them and just kind of getting that all prepped. I think that's the biggest thing that I have a hard time with these journals is punching all the holes for some reason. I don't know. So what I did was I just got everything I could imagine that I wanted to possibly put in any of these and put them all in like these plastic containers and sort of set them out in front of me, and I just started assembling them. And so I wound up finishing 10 of them. And I had started out with 7 originally, but then I picked up another 2, and then one I can't remember. I can't remember what happened, but anyways, so there's 10 altogether. And the other idea that was going through my head was that I wanted to make these kind of like flowish type journals, right? Because I think that a binder is a really great way to do that, and mostly because it's so easy to take things in and out of them and to move things around. You could even add more stuff to it or whatever. And so I wanted to kind of make these like, like a mega kind of supply pack type of flowish, faux flow, whatever you want to call it, type of package, right? So that's kind of what I did. I had originally tried to use some like like the plastic sleeves and stuff, and I was just going to stuff a bunch of stuff in them, and tickets and cards and papers and all that kind of stuff. But those didn't really fit in these binders, and I didn't really feel like cutting them down, and so then I kind of lost steam on them again. And anyways, I don't know, I'm kind of rambling on, but I'm just trying to let you know where my head was at, and how I came to where they wound up. So these are basically a journal. Okay, I mean, they can be totally used just as a journal, as they are, or they could be used as a supply pack. So you could use this as a place to store things that you're going to use in other journals, or junk journals or art journals, or whatever kind of journals, or even smash books and that kind of thing, glue books. Lots of really cool stuff in these. Tons of like kids pages, like kids vintage reader pages, and just all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to do a flip through of a couple of them, and then I'm going to show you the extra like gigantic pack of stuff that I'm adding in, which is kind of like a de-stash in a way on my part. And it's actually pretty cool. So right now, just a heads up, I do have a pretty decent sale in my shop. So it's a 20% off at $100. Plus you're going to get free shipping at that level. So That's for a very limited time though. So just keep that in mind. I believe it's through the 7th of January. Okay. And then that sale is going to end. So I had hoped, well, let me just get into it. So these are all kind of from different eras, but they're all definitely vintage. So, but let me show you this one because it's one of my favorites. It's a Better Homes and Gardens cookbook, and on the cover here, I don't have any eyelets. If you would like me to punch some eyelets, some holes in the cover for you, just let me know when you place your order and I can do that. I didn't attach any charms on these because I was trying to keep the price down a little bit. So that's part of the reason that I didn't do that. So if you would like me to just add some eyelets, like just, holes with the eyelet, let me know. So that's why I have the tag, like the kind of like stock ID number or whatever, kind of taped on here with washi tape, because I didn't have a hole to put it through, and I didn't want to put it on here because I didn't want it to get lost. So anywho, so some of them I just used some cotton fabric. This is actually an old sheet, and I did attach this with eyelets on the front and back. Some of them I actually just tied a piece of this chenille, like kind of like ribbon that I created around them. But those also have eyelets in them, in case you want to do something like this to tie them closed. Yeah, there isn't any way really to string the chenille through those eyelets, so I just tied it around it. Anyways, but this one is attached. So, but I will include, there's some chenille in this pack, so you're going to get chenille with this anyways, either way. So basically, I just did a simple pocket on the front and back of, cover out of a very old quilt that has been cut up into pieces. And most of this quilt I got from Patty Lang. She had a bunch of it in a live sale one time. And so anyways, so this is really, really old quilt, fabric. So, it's just, I just stuffed it with things that I thought were useful for junk journaling, or smash booking or whatever. This pocket's not extremely tight, so it would be better if it had like a notebook or something in it, because it doesn't hold this stuff extremely well, but that can't be helped. So just lots of different types of cards. And then I went through all my scrapbook paper, mostly the cardstock scrapbook paper, and I just took the pieces that were like offcuts and stuff like that, and cut them down a little bit more so that the pieces would fit into the pockets. I did some tabs with fabric on these. Those tabs, if you'd like to take them off in order to use the fabric, most of them just have like a single stitch, and it's very, very easy to just snip that thread and actually just pull that off if you want to use this somewhere else. Just, funny little pockets here and there throughout all of these journals, and these were really fun to work on once I got going. Lots of pages from like kids encyclopedias, things like that. So see, these are like offcuts. And then I went through all my old notebooks, or oh gosh, what are they called? Notepads. That's what I was trying to say. and pulled pages out of those. So there's like a few guest checks in each one. Vintage playing cards just attached as tuck spots on a lot of the old dividers that came in the books originally. Lots of recipes. So see, these are useful in other journals. But like I said, they could be used just as they are in here. So as far as reinforcement, stickers, I did put them onto the pages that I felt were somewhat fragile. This is from a really old Telltale book from the 40s. So, it's pretty fragile paper. And so I went ahead and put the reinforcers on those. I didn't do that on every page because I just felt like it didn't need it, but I included a couple sheets of them in each of the supply packs in case you run across pages that you think need some reinforcement. So you'll have some of those when you get your journal. Each envelope, mostly I use these longer envelopes, and I put a lot of flashcards in these. Lots of butterflies and flowers and birds and all kinds of different things. This is a very old typing book. A lot of the pages are just folded to fit into the book, rather than cutting them down. I wanted you to have the full page. This paper is from a pack that I got at Tuesday Morning. I can't remember the brand, but the whole book was put together just with this one hole. And excuse my yawn. And I thought it would be cool. You could actually put, like a jump ring on there and add some charms or something. So see, I put the reinforcers on that page again. This is one of those really cool vellum cards that I got over in Seattle this last summer. I used some of my very favorite recipe pamphlets and some pages from a flow book, an actual flow book. I used a lot of flashcards in these. I thought this was so funny. Husband tested recipes. So a lot of these that are from the pamphlets, I left them intact. So they're, a double page like that. Some more pages, that flip out. I snuck a Project Life card in here and there. This is from a flow book for paper lovers also. And I just put, playing cards in a lot of these smaller pockets. Each one of these probably has, I would say, 150 pieces of paper, counting the envelopes, but, quite a few pages, and, yeah, lots of goodies. Wait till you see the supply pack that I put together. It's got a ton of stuff. This is a page from that really cool, The Little Big Book for Moms that I picked up another 4 books of. One of them's for dads, one for grandmothers, one for Christmas, and one of animals. But I just love them because it's got all these really cool vintage images in it. So I used dividers from the garden books, the decorating books, the cookbooks, the handyman books. Yeah, so the dividers are all kind of mixed up, They didn't all, necessarily come from these books. And as a matter of fact, the Betty Crocker books didn't have dividers in them anyways. So, yeah, and lots of pages from the the vintage readers. This is from a Dick and Jane. Order forms, guest checks, more telltale pages. They're so cute. I love the images in the telltales. More flow paper, some like repair forms with some trim stitched on. Another large envelope. I love this paper. Oops. Recipes. Just lots of good stuff. Some of the Tim Holtz wallpaper paper. Some maps. Some kids' dictionary pages. All kinds of cards and stuff like that. Another butterfly book. This is this really cool flower book. Can't remember the name of it. But lots of different colors and randomness and usefulness. I love this paper for writing music. And most of the paper that's in here is actually vintage paper, so I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, see, there's lots of stuff in here. They're pretty full. Of course, the scrapbook paper is not vintage, but, you know, just about everything but the scrapbook paper is vintage. You know, like the ledger paper and all that. So a lot of these I just folded, you know, so that you can have more paper, because Lord knows I have a lot of paper, and so, yeah, so you're going to get a ton. And I filled these up pretty full. I didn't want them to be, you know, bulging at the seams, but I did want them to feel, you know, like they're definitely full. So, so that means there's lots of room to grow too, if you don't mind your journal getting a little, you know, alligator-ish. So this just wraps around twice and then ties in a bow. So this is the Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. This is actually binder number 9 in the series. And then this is one of the decorating books, Better Homes and Gardens decorating book. This is binder number 7. And they're all very similar inside, you know. And as usual, oh, and this is number, did I say it? Sorry, I always forget. Turnover. Yeah, number 7. I said it. I can't remember what I was saying. So here's one where it's just the chenille that's just wrapped around the book. But I did put the eyelets there, so if you want to just tear up some cotton fabric or something, or maybe use some seam binding or something like that, you could just make a real simple tie on there. So this is the gardening book, Better Homes and Gardens new garden book. I don't remember the year on these, you guys, but there's oh, I know what I was saying. There's 10 pictures in each listing on the Etsy website for each journal. So this is number 5. Sorry, I'm not going in perfect order here. This is number 7. Wait a second. Uh-oh. Oops. Well, I have to fix that, but I put the wrong number on one of these. I'll fix that. But they are numbered 1 through 10 on the website, so I'm sure it was just, you know, me being whatever. So this is another one of the cookbooks, the Better Homes and Gardens new cookbook. And this one is, the spine was in such awesome shape. I just left it as it was, and then used the cotton fabric as a closure. And then, God, I hope I don't run into another number 7 as I'm doing this. So this is number 10. This is one of the decorating books. This one has, and I just did like kind of a collage of different fabrics on the spines on these. So there's some chenille, there's some of this really old, like kind of honeycomb. I forget what the pattern is called, but I call it honeycomb. It's like these hexagons. This quilt top, and some other fabric and things like that. So that's number 10, as far as I know. This one's number 2. This is a Betty Crocker's picture cookbook. So this one's got some fabric collage on the spine also. I hope the lighting isn't too obnoxious in this video. So I think I had 4 of the decorating books and only 1 of the handyman. I like the handyman though because it's orange. And I love pink and orange together, so I used this really cute old quilt on the spine of the handyman book. I just wanted to kind of girl it up a little bit, you know what I mean? And the chenille is still kind of shedding a little bit, which is normal. And I leave threads long, you know, so if that bothers you, feel free to trim them off. As far as I know, this is number 6. And then we've got another decorating book. This is number 4. Again, with the fabric collage on the spine. I wanted to leave as much of the book showing as I could, just because. And this one is number 1. This is a new garden book, Better Homes and Gardens new garden book. So I think there's only 2 that don't have the fabric on the spine. I think at one point I was just doing that even if the spine was in good shape, because most of these, I think that they're actually in good shape, but I just wanted to cover it. I don't know. And this is another decorating book. This is binder number 3. So let's see. So there's 1, 2, I know there's 4 decorating books. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's 4 decorating books. There's 2 of the garden books. They're different years. Okay. And then 3 cookbooks, 1 Better Homes and Gardens, and then 2 Better Homes and Gardens and 1 Betty Crocker. And then the 1 handyman. So let me put these in their containers that they go in before they are sold, and then I'll show you what's in that supply pack. 1 second. I love the look of that. I just think they're beautiful. I'm so proud of myself that I got these all done. Okay, so here's the pack. This is I don't know, I didn't have anything else to put these in, so this is just like a page protector, but it's pretty full. There's a lot of stuff in here. So to start out, there's a fabric pack, okay? So each fabric pack is going to have an assortment, okay? There's going to be an assortment of fabrics, but each one is going to have similar items, okay? So there's going to be some chenille, at least 3 pieces, okay? They're not huge pieces, but they're usable. And then just some random cotton fabrics, Okay, just scraps and pieces. I took some of the small quilt top squares that I had, and I cut some of them in half, some of them into quarters. And so you're going to get an assortment of those. And these can be used for tabs. They can be used on tags. All kinds of options for those. You could even use them to make clusters or, you know, just embellishments on pages, make corner tucks and things like that. There are some pieces of quilted quilts, quilt pieces, some old tablecloths, and then I had done a really long ribbon of kind of like, you know, scrap ribbon. This is actually a strip that I cut off of a quilt top, and they're all stitched onto a piece of cotton fabric. So I put a, you know, good sized piece of that in each one of these packs. Okay, and I use this as I made this to use as tabs on all of these journals. So that's what I do with it. Let me get this back in here. I washi taped this bag closed. Watch, I won't be able to. So now, did it. Okay, and then each supply pack has a deck of 52 assorted playing cards, vintage playing cards. There may be a few duplicates, but not many. I mean, maybe three or four duplicates. I tried not to, but so yeah, so you get a deck of 52 vintage playing cards, and I sell these in my shop for like $5, you know. Like I said, a couple of sheets of reinforcers, and then 8 of these tickets. These are like 2-part tickets, okay? So it's actually 4 tickets, but, you know, there are 2 parts. Anyways, some white ones, and then, you know, 3 or 4 of the coat check tickets. I sell those in my shop too. And then I am going to be listing these little price tags. I think there's like 10 of those. And then 5 of the like sale price tickets or price tags. Some red tickets and some green tickets. And some card catalog cards. These are awesome for collaging, and, you know, I'm going to turn this over so I can. I added some bridge scorecards to each one. There's more down in this pack. That's not the only one. And then some vintage wallpaper pieces. And flashcards. Some of these have been around the block, okay? So they're not in perfect shape. These are from some kids' like encyclopedias. This is from like a Dr. Seuss dictionary. This is a game, I can't remember, it's a quotes game, but it has really cool quotes on them. A lot of these cards have neat quotes, so that's why I included some of them. And then some of these just paper bingo cards, these flimsy paper bingo cards, a whole little stack of them. More flashcards, different sizes. Some of them are newer, some of them are older. Some more of these paper guest checks, these small ones. It's a little stack of them. More flashcards. Different flashcards. These are like letters. These are like cards that you would put in a scrapbook to put like date and time and description of your photos. And then an assortment of, you know, these kind of flashcards. So These are like Spanish ones. And then there's like a couple of color ones and stuff like that. So just an assortment of those. This is a game. These are from a game. I think they're neat. They look kind of like a film strip. And then a whole bunch of these recipe cards. There's probably about a dozen in each pack. I have a ton of these. So if anybody wants more of these, let me know. I can put some in my shop. And then a bunch of these like gardening cards. These are like, these are from a different binder. And I like them to use in signatures for other books. But they're all about gardening. And there's probably about 10 of these in each pack. And then a couple pages from this old planner. This is from 1961. This planner. It's never been used. So I put a few pages in there. Some more bridge score sheets. And then some phone call, some message pages. And a few more guest checks. These are the kind that have the paper on the top. And then the stiffer, like cardstock layer. Some other notepads, pages. These are just like a statement page from a pad of them. There's like 6 of those, 5 or 6. And then these timesheets. These aren't old, but I don't know. I had picked these up somewhere. I can't remember. So there's about 7, 8 of those timesheets. And then these are like order forms. Another order form. And some more notepad pages. So, okay, so there's quite a bit in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. And so all of this stuff is going to come in your box with your journal. And I'm going to make sure that that gets shipped in a medium priority box. And is packed carefully. So, all right. So you're going to get your journal and your supply pack. This purchase would qualify for that discount right now, just so you know, through this, I think it's through the 7th. I'll go and make sure. And if it's not, then I'll make it so. Okay. All right, you guys, a couple of these have sold already because I do have the listings active right now. But, yeah, so hopefully if you want one, it's still there. Okay. Love you. I'm going to get this uploaded and you guys try to stay out of trouble. Okay. Bye for now.